workplace, and other places. Good morning. This is Randy Byrd with the kvCORE training. This is kind of the official launch of the kvCORE training. So we're going to take it through different steps. So if you've missed a week, you can go back and listen to it and do some of the things. We'll also try to do it in segments. So if you want to learn how to handle sellers correctly in kvCORE, that will be kind of a call. Buyers will also do property boosting and lead generation. But for now, I think we need to start with the basics. We need to start with like, what is kvCORE? How do I, now that it's active, what do I do? What's the first steps? And I've also created some automations. They're called campaigns that you guys, I'll share with you. So if you want an automation, I'm willing to share anything I have, as long as you're in the company. And we do that for other teams as well. And I've done some trainings in the EXP world to talk about specifically automations, and I've shared it with hundreds of people. So I built some automations that will shortcut some of the conversations you're having. Then you could edit them so it doesn't say Santa Rosa, it says Sacramento, it doesn't say Albany, it says Reading, whatever it is that you need to do. But it gives you a heck of a head start instead of trying to get locked up with procrastination of not knowing where to begin. Okay. So if you have questions that are specific, like how do I do this, and it's not in today's category, I might have you shelve it for a future call, but I'll try to answer them the best I can. But it'd be really easy for me to get in the weeds on some of these things because it is a very robust system. So number one, I want to show you some of the basics. I'm going to share my screen and show you my kvCORE. I just like an agreement from everybody that's on the call and watching this recording that this is my live database. Although I'm not in production per se, we have an agent team here in Oregon with about 15 agents that I am partners in and we work with. And I've got two teams, one in Redding, California, and one in Santa Rosa. So you might see content, you might see information, you're gonna be seeing my private notes. All this stuff is for your eyes only. And again, we're recording, but they're kept in our private groups. I want you to have the access and the information without risking the fact that I'm putting detailed content out there that's, somewhat private. So I will steer away from things the best I can, but I want you to see everything so you can see the value of this, right? And I'm going to focus today on kind of the basics. And what I mean by that is I want to focus on, put my notes up here. I want to focus on kind of the how, what, when, and where of kvCORE. Like, what's the first steps? I'm not going to get into bulk importing, although I can answer your question if you have one. I'm going to get into what do I do now that Sue's in there, right? What's the best thing to do to Sue? So Sue sees some of this stuff. Now, for my team, like Christian, I have some campaigns that are specific to certain areas. So it'll be easier for my team to get up to speed. Y'all are not on my team, so I can't give that kind of time, but I'm going to show you how to do everything. I'm going to do my best to make this so you're getting value from this, okay? Tell your friends. This kvCORE training is the biggest tool. RE/MAX just announced this weekend, alongside a 17% workforce layoff, massive. They also announced that they're parting ways with their private lead generation program that they purchased. I think it was called Ojo Labs, I believe. But they're parting ways with, what was it?
It's called Bouge.
That's what it was, Bouge. I was thinking there was a J in there, yeah. So they're parting ways with that, and guess what they're bringing on as a company? kvCORE. They're bringing on kvCORE as a complete company. So all RE/MAX agents are now going to be in kvCORE. Opportunities abound. I'm just saying it out loud, right? So now their whole company is going to say their value proposition for their technology suite is kvCORE. You already have that suite, and it's provided for you for $0. Okay, it's part of your technology fee. So with all that talk, now let's get into kind of the basic, or get in some of the basics. So number one, we're going to go over three things today: the basics, how, what, when, where, what's a lead look like, kind of starting point in kvCORE, and then their profile, updating and completing their profile so you have good information and they're in some communicative way, right? They know who you are, they know what your smart number is if you have one, and so on. And then last is the important part is search alerts, automations, and market reports. You could do you could do 2 or 3 of those today, right? So you could launch a market report on everybody in your database, and you could put search alerts on everybody very easily. I'm going to show you today. And then the automations are more delicate and difficult. They're going to take time, but there are generic automations that come with kvCORE that are very good. All right, they got a make it rain lead buyer program, and you can just turn those on and they're going to get at least some content from you in a correct way. Okay, so just checking temperature. Who is using kvCORE on a daily basis in their business? And guys, if you have your cameras off, you can leave them off, but it's a lot more interactive if your cameras are on and we're all involved. Okay, so again, if you need to do something and shut your camera off, 100% okay. But it's a lot better for me if I can look at you and we can be interactive in this training. But again, if you've got some things going on, it's okay. All right. So number one, it's open. Let's share my screen with kvCORE. Give me some feedback when you can see my screen. Let me share just a second. Okay, share kvCORE platform. Everybody see that okay? And if you're not muted, unmute yourself and tell me because I can't see you guys anymore.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, cool. So first thing, you're going to see this list of bullet items on the left side. If you hit the little hamburgers, the 3, it will minimize it. And then you have icons. After 5 years of training and all this, I still don't know what they all mean. So I have to expand them personally. So if you expand them, you're going to see you have a couple things: dashboard, playbooks, new, CRM, smart CRM, where all your leads and stuff are. Listings, that's where all your listing and stuff is. Lead engine, that's where all the lead generation stuff will be housed. Transactions, which is your back end. I don't use it at all. I use SkySlope and keep everything there. And then Web IDX, this is all your website stuff, blogs, settings, content, pictures, all that stuff. Marketplace is adding things onto kvCORE. And then business analytics is what your business doing. This is a great thing to look at your team, see how they're doing. I'm going to stay out of that for this particular training. We could definitely talk about it in the future. And then support and training. This is really, really important because there's a lot available. Support docs, courses, webinar schedules, YouTube channel, Facebook groups. A lot of your questions will be answered right in here. So make sure you're going to that. And then at the last step, you can also click this little blue icon down here and text speak with somebody in kvCORE. All right. They respond typically in 10 to 20 minutes. It used to be really immediately, but they're growing and still growing. So, hi, doing training. Okay. I asked her a question this morning. She was responding. I'll get back soon. Okay, so she doesn't shut the case down and I'm not answering. All right, I had a specific problem with one of my campaigns I asked and they responded a live person. You have to go through a couple things before you get a live person. But once you do, you stay in touch with the same live person, okay? And then so you're gonna get a bot in the beginning. It's gonna say, hey bot, did that help? And I said, no help. Oh, hey bot, did that answer or help you? Nope, I need help. Oh, hey bot, here's some more stuff. Did that answer help you or are you still looking for something else? And I went, oh my God, bots. But then it says, I'm a real estate bot because I said, oh my God. And it said, do you want to speak to a person? Wait for the team. So I hit wait for the team right there. And then it posted wait for the team. And then they came on shortly after that. Right? I don't have the times here, but somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Okay. So that's how you can communicate with them live and do different things in the system. So first of all, and you guys could just either raise your hand. I don't know if I could see it with my screen shared, or you could just reach out and say something if you need a question, okay? But the first thing I want to focus on today is the smart CRM, that little kind of steering wheel on a ship boat there. You see that, smart CRM, and then you go down to my contacts, and this is going to be your database. So when you go into this, you're going to look and be able to see who's in your database and what's going on. The new leads will be at the top. Scroll all the way down. You'll see that I have over 10,000 contacts. I have 15,810 contacts. That's my career, right? I've added people to my database. I've got kvCORE leads. I've got Boomtown leads. I've got Commissions Inc. leads. I've got all these things that have been put in here. Now I have several thousand agents as well. Your database is the key, kind of the nucleus of your whole business. In my opinion, everybody goes into it. Even people I dislike, I still want to have them in there and have something under their name that says I dislike them. I want everybody in my database, in my Rolodex, so to speak. Okay. So that's where you're going to see the contacts portion of what you have. But for right now, I want to show you kind of the dashboard. The dashboard is a snapshot that you should be looking at every day, multiple times a day, whatever it is. It's the first place I go. And again, I don't have a production team. I have a partner with one here, and we're building 2 teams right now in Redding and Santa Rosa. So we'll start getting back into the production side of the business. But I got out of my production team, sold it 5 years ago, and I've been coaching full time. So you're not going to see a ton of leads and activity in here. But I ran a boost today. I did some things that we're going to show you and work through. But the very first thing I want to do is try to look at who just came in my website. Seth came in 13 hours ago. So I'm going to pull up Seth. You see his name's there. I don't have an email address for Seth. Okay, so he put in his phone number only. And I'm going to scroll to the bottom so you guys could see what come in. So we got a text. It says, interested in more pics and details of this property. And so he came on a Craigslist ad. And this is what he's looking at. Horse property in Newburgh. Okay, so he gave me his email address, or he gave me his phone number only. And he's looking for information in this particular property. And it came through yesterday at 9:30 on a Sunday at 9:30. Okay. Automatically added a hashtag to him, contact assigned to me, validation run. It looks like he's up in Beaverton. His occupation, creative composites LLC. It automatically did the validation on the phone number. By hitting this little ribbon, you can revalidate him and find out if it says, it didn't come up with anything new. But if I add his email, I can revalidate him and get more information. Sometimes home address, emails, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So in this particular case, I didn't respond. I was on the road. I was actually flying. So I didn't get it. Right. So this morning, when I checked my dashboard, I said, hey, Seth, I'm Randy Byrd with EXP. Hope this finds you well. Appreciate coming through the site. I will not shock and awe you. This is an automation I sent. It looks like I typed it, but I launched an automation this morning that sent that text. And then I sent him another one about 10 minutes later saying, good morning. Did you get your real estate question answered? Thanks, Randy. Still no response. So I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him live, and let's just see if we can reach him. Okay. 503-318-3139. And he's asking about that property. So I'm going to pull up this. Do you see the property right now? Anybody?
Yes, you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I switched screens.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks. Mute yourself for the call just to see if he answers. I'm going to see if it's really him. Seth McBlair. I'm also going to already have that link in his contact information.
Hi, you've reached Seth at Creation Composites and Trail Tank Split. Thanks. Please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Okay, so real guy, real occupation, who got his job correctly just from his phone number.
When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Seth, Randy Byrd, real estate broker. Just giving you a call about the place up in Newburgh for 739. You came on yesterday. I was on a plane yesterday coming back from Vegas for a birthday party, but I texted you this morning as well. I just want to make sure you got my number. This is my cell. I text you from my work number. So give me a call when you're free. I've got a little more information on that property, and happy to set up a showing or just give you some more information. All right. Have a great day. And by the way, I'm a general contractor. I've kind of retired now, do flips, but let's see if we can't promote your company, Creation Composites. Let's talk about that and see what I can do to promote your company here and see if we can share some networking and stuff. All right. Anyway, have a great day. Randy Byrd, 541-570-5777. Thank you much. Bye. All right. So I sent him a message. I'm going to go in here to send text. I'm going to go, hey, Seth. Just left a message. Just left a short message. Thanks, Randy. Okay, so we're trying to make contact with him. He hasn't done it yet. I'm going to, let me see if I have the MLS number on this. Where's it at? Where you at? Where post ID? That's a Craigslist. It doesn't have the MLS on it. Okay, so I was going to try and attach that MLS property to them just to add more value. Okay.
Randy,
I'm gonna
is it
put-
easy for clients to work?
Just a
with-
second, just a second,
Sure.
just a second. Okay, so I'm going to send him another text. If he responds, I'm going to ask him for his email address, right? So get right to an email address. Hashtag, I'm going to put, he is in Portland. I want to add hashtags so I could search for them easier later. He was also in Beaverton. Okay, so I've added a couple of hashtags. He came on, let's see where he came from, Craigslist. So I'm adding as many hashtags as I can so I could search for him later. All right, so all these hashtags are now part of him. Another shortcut, really nice shortcut, is if you add a note, like I'm going to put a note saying, I just called, left message, said I was a contractor. Also, okay, he called on Newburgh 749 roughly K-ish. Okay, these notes are for me. Now, what I can do in here is if I put hashtag and say I put in buyer. Okay, so hashtag buyer in notes. Oops, not all that information. Hashtag buyer in notes. If I do that and I add the note, so by putting hashtag buyer in the notes that I just did, it will add them as a buyer hashtag also. So in the notes, you could add hashtag and then something, and it will put them into that position. Okay. All right. So he's a new lead. I have not made contact yet. Once I make contact, he goes to active lead. Once I start showing properties or he's dealing with my lender, he becomes a client. Okay. So that's how this works for me. Yes, on the question.
Sorry, I was wondering, is it easy for the clients to work with kvCORE through the system?
I can't hardly hear you. I'm sorry. It
Oh.
might be my speakers, but
No, it's probably, I have a double screen, so maybe that's the problem.
okay. Say it
Can you
again.
hear me better or not yet?
It's better when you lean towards the mic, but
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to resolve that problem later. So I was wondering, is it easy for clients to use kvCORE?
yeah, from the front end side, it is very nice. So I'll give you an example of what mine looks like. So mine is realtyexplained.us. Mine's set up for an Oregon because that's where I live. So this is my site that they come onto, and it's very simple. If you search Albany, Oregon, it's going to pop up all the things in Albany if you're in Reading or whatever it may be. So if I put that in and hit search, it will pull up all the homes available for sale in Albany very quickly. You could click on them to see what they are specifically if you want to. And then they pull up just like this. So it's very simple for a buyer to use it. And then again, they can contact me. All my stuff's up here. It's a very nice, clean site that will be automatically built for you as part of being an EXP. You want to tweak some of the things and all that, but there's a lot you can do to your site, including, like I've done, add a video to the front of it. So it's given a little tour of the Willamette Valley. If you watch it, it will go through, I think it's a 30-second clip, but it will basically, go through these videos that we put in. It shows Oregon State Beavers, the Duck Stadium, kind of Oregon foundational things, and then luxury properties, whatever you want it to do. But this is all kvCORE. Okay, I didn't build anything special. kvCORE did this for me. So you'll see that's the last, and it's going to show the vineyards, and then it starts rolling into the beginning of it again. So it's a 30-second loop. Okay. So answer your question.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Okay. You bet. Any other questions so far? I know I'm a fast trainer on this stuff, but we do record them. Okay. So moving on, this buyer I'm not done with. So Seth, we We know he's a real person, correct? First thing I do is give him 2 stars because he's a real person. If it was a voicemail that said, please leave a message, they'd get a 1 star. And I want to move them up in stars as I progress, because that's how I can determine their being real and their motivation. So he gets 2 stars because he is a real person. When I speak to him physically, it's a 3, 4, or 5, depending on the conversation. If I speak to them, it's automatically a 3 star, right? If I get them on the phone, or if I'm texting them back and forth, that I've now identified they're real, 2 stars, and then I made connection with them. By the way, it's my system. You could have your own. And then once I get them to a lender or any of those things, become 4 or 5 stars. So the reason I do that is because I can search by stars equally as easy as I can hashtags. So if you wanted to go to, anybody with 3 stars or more that is a buyer, you can do that in kvCORE very quickly. All right. So you see the system I'm doing there. Now, here's the next best thing. On the campaigns, he is in Oregon, and he got launched on the wrong campaign. He got launched on a Sonoma buyer campaign for some reason, which has language about California. I want to launch him on the Corvallis Albany campaign. So it might be redundant. This is why I was texting the help desk this morning, is because it's launching automatically. I'm trying to remove that from them launching a California thing on an Oregon buyer. It should default to Oregon and then let me change it to Sonoma County and so on. So I've got a Shasta County, Sonoma County, and then Lynn County teams that I post to. So 3 MLSs. So the very first thing I do is select, this is a campaign. Again, we're not going to go into automations today. I want to stay with the other 2 basic things. So number 1 is market reports. This contact just unsubscribed, by the way, it looks like. So them subscribed, they're not going to get anything else. You can see right there. And that's because they don't have an email. I take that back. So without his email, I cannot launch a market report because it goes out by email. I can also not launch a property alert because it goes out by email. So the only thing I have right now is a campaign, or I could also do voicemail and call him and text him, but I cannot do anything that requires an email, which is the other 2 things. Okay. So I've done everything I can on this buyer so far. He is going to get other touches. As we progress on June 13th or July 13th, in 2 days, he's going to get another one that says, hey, Seth, I'm a local brother who sent the text to you yesterday. Do you prefer a call or texting? I set up a property search, but want to fine tune it for your needs. I didn't, but this is going out anyway. I'm good with whatever works for you, Randy. Kind of blasé, right? I don't want to be too much shock and awe, but that's what's going out in 2 days. And then the next day it says, hey, if this is helpful, I'd be more willing to do a walkthrough of a couple of properties with you. Let me know. So he hasn't answered yet. It's going to continue doing that. Once he answers, I will kill the campaign and put him on a buyer campaign, right? A campaign that is saying, hey, great talking to you, and so on. So I'm doing this. He's going to have about 8 or 9 things that go out until he responds to me. And it goes on until he responds. Okay. So that's how we set up a buyer in this for now. So that buyer, in my opinion, we've got all the information we have. Now here's one more step. Remember what his company was. Anybody remember it off the top of their head? It was this right here, Creative Composites LLC. So guess what? A company guy, I could find out his email most likely. So I'm going to look this up and see if it's the right one. And I'm going to put Oregon. I know this is a lot of time on doing the contact, but this is the most critical step, in my opinion. Okay. So you've got, I got this. It looks like it might be this one, Creative. Let's look at it. Let's see where they are about. Let's see if it says where they are. Beaverton, Oregon. Okay. There you go. Seth at Properties. I got his email now. Copy, right? I'm going to check his phone number, 3139. 3139, that's his real cell number. Now I have his email. So I'm going to update this information. I'm going to delete this kvCORE automatic generated email. That's why it wouldn't send out anything. And then I'm going to put his email in there. Now that I found his email, I'm also, if I want to, I could put this address in for him. And the reason I do this is everything that we do may give us more opportunity, right? So I'm going to paste that in there, and it auto-populated the whole thing because it found it on Google Maps. So now I've got his email, his phone number, and his address. I want to make sure I go in here and subscribe him to emails. I know he hasn't given me express permission, but he hasn't told me not to. So that means I'm taking the fact that he called me asking for information as, I have permission. I'm recording this, but I'm going to beg for forgiveness rather than ask for permission in this particular category. You run your business how you want to. There's an argument for both sides. I like my argument. Okay. So I've now through Google found out who this guy is. I'm going to run a new thing and see if it pops up any more validation information. Okay, so look at this. So now I got a new validation I just ran. He's found to be excellent quality, good email, lives in Beaverton. That's his business. So it validated the fact that that's a good email for him. So now I have the ability. Remember before these were locked out? Now watch this. I'm going to go market report in Beaverton, Oregon. So yes, I'm going to set up a market report. I'm going to send it to him every 7 days until he tells me to back off. So now he's getting a nice market report immediately, and I'm going to send it to him now, right? Because I just left him a message. My name's fresh. All the things are going on. Okay. Now property alert. I'm going to look at what he looked at. So we know he looked at this for 739 up in Newburgh. So now let's go into property alerts, and we're going to set up a new alert.
I apologize. One more question. So he contacted you through Craigslist, you mentioned?
Your microphone's really tough for me to hear. I'm sorry, but he contacted me
Through
through,
Craigslist?
he saw a Craigslist ad and he found my website somehow.
Okay,
So he reached out to me specifically asking me about that particular listing.
I see. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. So areas, let me go back. What was the area? It was Newburgh. So area, we're going to go Newburgh, Oregon. Okay, so it's going to find Newburgh, Oregon directly. Newburgh. It just disappeared. Where'd it go? Spell it correctly, it helps. Newburgh, Oregon. Okay. I could also draw it on a map if I want to. Like I can go into, for instance, I can go into Oregon, right? And I could say, okay, I want to go up. I know Newburgh's up here by Salem. I can go up here and I could go, okay, I want to draw everything in this area right here. I want to go from, let's say here, over to here, down to here, over there, but I don't want that little section of Hillsborough right there. I can go like that and apply that section. Very, very clean, very easy. But I want it to be all of Newburgh. And then listing type, I'm going to go down residential only, single family. Price range, let's go 650 because he was looking at 749 to about 900, for instance. Okay. Beds, I'm going to guess, but I'm going to say at least 2. Bass, at least 2. You could do anything you want. And when you find out more information about what they want, you could add this stuff. But I don't know much about them. So for right now, I'm going to send him this twice weekly. And I'm going to send him these homes. I'm going to set the alert. So now it's going to tell me how many homes it found. It only found 1 home in that price range right now. So I can expand the price range, expand the area, take the bedrooms out. There's a bunch of stuff I can do. But until I talk to him, at least he's got an alert where it's sending him stuff twice a month about homes that are coming on the market and what's cooking. Okay. So he has now an active alert set up. If I go back into his thing, you see he's got an active alert set up in Newburgh. That's a big, powerful thing to do. Everybody in your CRM, I don't care if they're your cousin that lives down the street, get them in a property alert because that's going to keep them up to tune with what the world's doing in listings, and then put them on a market report every 30 days. You can see here, if I go to it, I could change it to where it's every 7 days, 14, 21, or 28. You pick the flavor so you don't send them too many. Okay. I don't remember. I didn't send him I thought I sent it to him now. Let me look. Oh, the contact already has a report. So I did. I said, we sent him a market report. So Seth is done until he gets back to us. So until he responds to the text or an email, we're done with Seth. He's on an automation that's going to touch bases with him as we go. And we're good. Okay. Any questions on Seth or that particular content? I know there's a lot there to unpack.
Good
Nothing.
info. Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so Seth is done. Now, how long? That was what, 15, 20 minutes we spent on one contact, right? I could do them in 3 minutes now that if I'm not training, I could do it fast. But I showed you how to dig in and find some of this stuff. Here's another one. Here's a harder one. A phone call came in, only a phone call. So the system added this. I got an inbound call to Randy Byrd for 9 seconds. I'm going to listen to it because I don't remember it.
Hello, thanks for calling. You've reached Randy. Sorry I've missed you. At the tone, please leave me a positive message and I will get back to you as soon as.
Okay, he didn't leave a message. He just called and then didn't leave a message, so he hung up. He's calling from 541. It says, "This is me. Hey, I'm Randy Byrd." That's my automation that launched automatically. And then it said disabled texting was reported to be unable to receive a text message, disabled further text messages. So he cannot receive anything else. So this campaign is dead in the water because that phone number said you can't text it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for this phone number in Google. Copy. I'm not getting deterred yet, right? If I can't find it, that's one thing. Let me see. It ended up with 5250. 5250. Now, I don't have a current system. I used been verified before to look up people's numbers. I don't see the number anywhere here. It's not easy to find. If I really wanted to take a lot of attention and pay for been verified or paid for white pages or something, I could reverse number the phone number, look up. But if he's not willing to leave a message, if he's not willing to do any of this stuff, he's just dead to me right now. Okay. It's up to you what you do in your business. That is not a good lead for me. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to put it closed status or I'm just going to go in here and shut them off. Basically, I can't send him a text. I can't send him an email. He's dead to me. So really we could delete him or we can just close the file, whatever you want to do. Archive the lead for me. Okay, so I'll archive them. That way they're out of my database. I don't look at them. But if anybody ever calls, I could look up my archive numbers. Okay. Here's the next one. I want to do another one. So here we got a phone number and an email. He may have unsubscribed because it says unsubscribed from text. Let me see. Okay, he's interested in Pickford Street in Corvallis. Assigned to me, it looks like excellent. He's with Gamal Design. And he's on a Sonoma buyer, which is the wrong one again. And then I sent him an email July 6th. And then I sent him an email July 6th as well that said, I want to put a face to a name. I recorded a video that goes out to everybody in the automation automatically. And it just says, hey, it's Randy Byrd. I wanted to put a face to a name. And you can play the 28 and it's got a nice email there. Okay. So that went out to him on the 7th or on the 6th. He did not reply to any of that. I sent another one today. He didn't reply to that. I sent him another one today. He has not replied to that. So we could give him a call and ask him if he's looking for anything. And so right now he's a 1 because he hasn't been verified his phone number or anything. Okay. So let's give him a call. 971-713-6890. And again, I'm just showing you what is the proper way to go through your database on a daily basis. Robert Rakeshaw.
Rob,
Hey, Rob, it's Randy Byrd, real estate broker. How are you?
I'm doing well yourself.
I'm doing great. Just real quick. You asked for information on Pickford and Corvallis. Did you get all you needed?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you did. Okay. You going to buy it or you just are you a neighbor or something looking?
I'm just looking right now.
Cool. No worries. You want me to like send you some homes in certain price ranges? No obligation. I can help you out though.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So it looks like it's your email's Robert Rakestraw, is that right, at gmail.com?
Robert L. Rakestraw at gmail.com.
Oh yeah, I see the L in there. Okay. So give me the price points you want. What's ideal for you?
I'm trying to stay within 2,000 a month.
Okay.
but
Rent or mortgage? What are you looking for?
Mortgage.
Okay. No problem. And not working with any agents yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I'll try to do my best to apply for that position.
For sure.
I appreciate it. What do you do, man?
I run my own business. I do home maintenance.
Awesome. I'm a general contractor. I do flips and stuff, but maybe we can pass business your way.
Definitely.
Awesome.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, agents always need home maintenance and stuff too. So I'll definitely put you in my system under that.
Sure, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it.
Totally, man. Okay, so let me see what I can find. Probably looking around that 300,000, 325,000 price point, I'd imagine. Does that sound
Yeah, that
probably
sounds
about
right.
probably about right? Okay,
Yeah,
no worries. A little tight in Corvallis. Are you okay going a little outside Corvallis?
I am. I'd rather go north than south.
Okay,
And I understand Albany. Albany has some nice, but it's all depending on areas and stuff.
okay, but Salem's okay, Jefferson.
Yeah, Salem, Jefferson. Yeah, I'm from Portland, so.
Okay,
But
awesome.
I've been out here for 4 years, so I like this area, but I know that the prices are starting to seem like Portland now.
Yeah, true story, man. It's going crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Well-
I've been working on a couple houses, and I'm selling a couple houses up here, so I know it's just right now people are just selling what they can get for them.
Yeah, totally true, man. But it's softening up a little bit. Interest rates went up, but then they fell down last week. They're back just barely above 6, or below. I'm sorry, they're just barely above 5, below 6 now. Again, they were up over 6, so it kind of came down a little bit. So that's better news for you.
Right. Yeah, when I first started looking, it was at 3. I was like,
I know.
Jones was like, damn.
I know, right? It's brutal. I am in the business, but I got lucky. I refinanced in January for 2.25 fixed.
Oh,
And
goodness.
I didn't even know, it kind of happened fast, but I got lucky. But we'll find you something that works out good, man.
For sure.
Right on. I appreciate it, man. Well, my name's Randy Byrd. I'm with eXp Realty. I'm the team leader. And so I've got a good sized team. We have about 15 agents here in Albany, Corvallis. So
Okay.
happy to help you however we can, man.
All
So
right, well,
I'm gonna-
I truly appreciate it.
Totally. I'm going to send you an email. Do me a favor, respond back kind of what your specialty is in maintenance, and let me see what we can do to give you business.
All right, sounds good.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
You as well.
All right. Bye for now. Okay. Boom. Good phone call, right? That's a cold call to a buyer. And, we just started off with a little conversation. This is kind of going more into coaching than kvCORE, but they're related because it's easy not to make that phone call, guys and ladies, right? But just making the phone call, having a conversation with him. He confirmed that he is, in fact, he went by Rob, by the way. Remember that? So I'm going to get rid of Robert. I'm going to go over to Rob because that's what he said for himself. I'm going to subscribe to emails because he gave me permission. I am going to subscribe to everything. So we're good to go now. His number has been verified. It's good. I'm going to update him just for giggles, just to see if there's any updates here. Excellent, Mel, Jamel Design. So we're all good there. So now that we just had a conversation with him, I'm going to send him a text, and let me see if I could find the one. I haven't done this in a little bit. My contact information, contact info. Is it under this or is it under Randy? Just give me a minute to do a little bit of housekeeping here, and then Randy tried to call contact card Randy. Let's see. Thanks, Rob. My info is below. Yep, that's the one I wanted. So it's called Contact Card Randy. Okay, cool. So I'm going to send that. Boom. So I sent him a text with my contact card. You're going to see that right there, right? I sent him that text. I custom note. I pinned it to the top so I know who he is. I'm going to set him up on property alerts for Corvallis. So I'm going to go all of Corvallis. Actually, I'm going to show you this draw on the map. I want to put him all the way through Albany. Like he said, he didn't want to go very much north, so I won't do that. But I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go Corvallis. I'm going to draw on the area. I'm going to say, I'm going to go all the way. He wasn't fond of Albany, but I'm going to put him in Lebanon and all the way up through Salem, like way up here. All right. So all these areas, he's going to get anything that's Corvallis North through Salem, he's going to get notifications on. Now what I'm going to do is put this as residential single family. Minimum price, I'm going to go 250 as a minimum. Max, I'm going to go 400. I think probably 400 is max for him based on our conversation. We could change it, but I'm going to go at least 2 bedrooms and at least 2 baths. So if it gets a wonky little 1 bedroom, it throws it out. And I'm not going to do anything else because I want as many properties as shows up as possible. And I'm going to send him this daily because we had a good conversation. Okay. So I'm going to set the alert. I want to set it so I could look at how many properties it showed up first. It showed 96. That's too many, right? So I want to edit this before I send it to him. I don't want to send him that many. So I'm going to go from 300 to, actually I'm going to go 275 down to 350. I'm trying to limit this. I'm going to go 3 bedrooms, even though I'm kind of presuming. I'm going to go square footage at least 1,100 and update alert. Let me see if I can go from 96 to 11. That's much better. Okay. So this will give me an idea. Now he's getting 11 properties daily of what, what he wants and the things I could take in and take out as we progress. So he's got an active alert now. If we go back to his thing, you'll see that he has an active alert set up now right there. We're going to send him a market report. We're going to send him a market report for, let's try Lynn County. Lynn, Oregon. Now I'm a little reluctant to do that. I'm going to put it in Corvallis since that's what he came in as. So he could at least just see Corvallis area. I'm going to send that to him every 7 days. So now he's getting all this stuff from me. He's also, he's a real person, so he gets 2 stars. I spoke to him, he's got 3 stars. If he's willing to talk to my lender or look at property, he'll be a 4-star. And if I'm showing, we'll move on, okay? He's not a new lead now, he's an active lead because we had a conversation with him, but he's not a client yet. He's not pre-approved and he's not looking at properties, but he's done in my system right now. He's all good. He's on a follow-up campaign here. Actually, I'm going to kill the campaign now that we spoke. I'm going to remove the campaign. And I don't think I have an active good buyer campaign. I need to build that. Buyer Reading, Sonoma. I got to write a note to build that because I need a follow-up campaign for these buyers. It's not the initial one. That one's made for once they make contact. So I'm gonna write that down. Okay, I can take any questions if you have any right now. Make buyer automation, kvCORE. Okay, you guys have a good feel for what was happening in my kvCORE account to have communication with the contact, to get into a position that you're able to really operate at a high level within kvCORE with that contact and setting them on the alerts and using the power of the system. Was that helpful? Is anybody doing this at this level?
I haven't been, but that really simplified it.
That's what this is all about, man. This system is very overwhelming. It's very robust. Don't let it freak you out. Stay with the basics and build off of those building blocks, right? So we've got about 10 minutes left. I want to show you something to do today to create leads for free. Well, they're not for free. There's ways to do it for free, but I'm going to show you how to buy leads for a small amount of $60 for a week and see if you can create some lead inventory for yourself. So if you want it, And then I'm also going to show you how to run some Facebook things for free that you can run as many as you want and create leads to your site. This is an overview. We'll go into depth next week, but I wanted to give you a little kind of meat and potatoes to leave with. Okay. Let me check this real quick. You're a boss. Thanks for your time. Okay, cool. Great meeting, Randy. Very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So, when we look at, would that be helpful if you could run an ad really quick, and even if it's not your listing, to run things on Facebook and have kvCORE do the whole thing for about, I think it's like $10 a day, maybe less, $60 for a week. So it's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is go back. I'm going to share my screen, go back to kvCORE. What you want to do is look at the lead engine on the left. And then I want you to go to Core Property Boost for now. Okay. So you're going to go to Core Property Boost. You might need to sign in the first time, but it's called Core Property Boost. And if you sign into it, it's going to look like this. Now, this is my actual one. I've got 2 active ads running. They just got turned on this morning, so nothing's here. But let's go back in time a couple of years just so you could see some of my historical properties that we put on here. Oops, didn't work. Let's go back a couple of years here. Why isn't it doing it? Oh, I'm not picking a date. There we go. Okay, so there you go. I've got 11 ads I've ran, 23,000 impressions, 1,678 clicks, 18 shares, 288 form submissions, average cost per lead, $2.60 historically in my whole advertising. That's really inexpensive. Okay. So what you're going to do, it's really, really simple. If you just follow these steps, and this is recorded, you could go back and watch it. And I'm going to do it twice for you so you understand it. Boost property. It's going to tell you to search an address or your list is empty. So you need to go back a little bit. Okay. So if you have listings and you want to boost your own listings, these will come up, or you could use an MLS ID instead, and you could search for that way. But what I want to do is take you back a step, and I want you to look at all listings. Let's go team listings, manual listings, company listings, or my listings. If you go to company listings, now you're going to see all the properties in EXP. These are all EXP listings. So you are allowed in kvCORE to advertise them. Disclaimer, and this is recorded, you should always ask the listing agent if you could run ads, but you don't need to. I don't. They're EXP listings. I'm promoting them through kvCORE Boost, but it's always good business just to say, hey, I'm going to boost some properties and yours are coming up, but I don't have the time to call 5 or 6 agents and ask them if it's okay if I boost their property. I just do it, beg for forgiveness, ask for permission. It's up to you. But again, it's available to you because we're in the brokerage. We're the broker has given us permission to advertise listings, but the individual agent has not, right? But the broker prevails in my belief. So if I'm wrong, I'll be proven wrong later. But now let's search for Albany where I'm at. So we'll go Albany only, right? So now I pulled up just Albany, Oregon. Now I could look at these and see if there's one that I like more than others, right? Either by square footage or price or whatever. I could toggle in through price. So we're starting at $749. Of course, I like the expensive one. So let's do that one. Okay. So let's click that and hit boost property. It's now going to pull up the boost property with somebody else's listing information, right? So here you go. We're boosting a listing. And this is what it's going to look like. And we could display the price just like that as well, or we could leave the price off of it. But we could display the price. If you want to look at it and what it's going to look like in the mobile app, you do it right there on that button. And then this is the desktop. That's what it's going to look like on desktop. It's compliant. It says eXp Realty. It says all this stuff's listed. Thinking about a move. You could change and edit a lot of this stuff. It will push them to my website. It will target them with smart targeting. Okay. And it will do all this stuff. You can add compliance text. You can make it say whatever you want. You could do all this stuff. You could change targeting of where you're going to be marketing this thing to, but it does it automatically all for you. And you can come down here and pick what you want. This is $45. It's great for an open house, 3 days. But why not run it for 7 days for $60, right? But it's pushing it. This one promotes your open house. Your ad will be seen 1,000 times by people, and you could add 11 to 12 contacts to your database through this thing. This one runs for 7 days, and it's good for listings, open houses, price reduction, just sold. 7 days, your ad will be seen 2,000 times, 12 to 16 contacts in your database. So I like that better. But honestly, if it's your listing, the best bang for your buck is getting it for $250, which runs for 4 weeks. Okay. Runs for 4 weeks. This is 21 days for $150. It's totally up to you what you do, but it literally is this simple. And you just put your credit card information in it and hit checkout. You're done. That ad will run for you, and it's all done automatically by them. You could also put open house. It will provide as an open house. You can hit price reduction if there's a price. There's a lot of price reductions right now. That's a great one to use again. And then you could also say just sold. Okay, so you could do all those things at the click of a button with a listing that's not yours, just because it's an EXP listing. It's pretty powerful. Because a lot of people say, oh, I don't have things to promote, right? That's the problem. I don't have things to promote. Well, now for $60, you can create somewhere between 8 and 12 contacts in your database to then go back to and have these phone calls and conversations with them like I did this morning in our dashboard. Okay. So that kvCORE boost, you'll probably have to go back and watch this to get that, but it is quite simple. Again, you go to listings, you go to company listings, and then you could just select the property and hit boost. Okay. Property boost right there. All right. It's really powerful. As we go back to my dashboard, the one thing I want to do every day is click on this new leads to make sure no leads came in today. Right. So that was yesterday. We already handled all those. I want to look at new texts, see if any new texts have come in. And here, this came in 2 hours ago. He said, no, thank you. And then that was 14 hours ago. So this particular guy that came in and said, no, thank you. I could leave him on something forever. He's got a good email. He's got a good thing, but I don't want to overwhelm him. So I'm going to, he's in Corvallis. Is that accurate? Corvallis. So even though he said, no, thank you, he didn't say remove me, correct? He just said, no, thank you to my offer today. So I am aggressive. I'm going to go Corvallis, but I'm going to slow it down to like 28 days so I don't overwhelm him. But he's still going to get these property alerts. And if I see him coming into my website, I'll let it go. And I'll tell him, no problem. I won't bug you. Let me know if I can help. Okay, so thanks.
I won't.
Randy. What's that?
I won't. You have want, right?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I won't. That's why it was underlined. I won't bug you. Let me know if I can help. Thanks, Randy. So he's still getting a market report. He's still, I acknowledged his saying no, thank you, but he did not unsubscribe, which he could do at any time. Okay, and he doesn't have a campaign going. He's just sitting there with a market report every 28 days and getting single families. And I'm going to see how often these are going out. I don't want him going out daily. He said, no, thank you. So come down here and change it to once weekly. Okay. So update alert. Now he's getting it every week and he's getting a newsletter once a month. That's really mild. We'll see if he stays in my system. Okay. So that completes the kvCORE training for the day. Any questions before we wrap up? And I hope it was helpful for you. So question, if you're hosting an open house for a listing, not an EXP, you cannot promote it on Facebook unless it's approved listing that you have access to. So you'd have to actually go into your Facebook and promote it that way organically, not through kvCORE, to my knowledge. Because this is looking for the listing. You could do a manual, but you can't boost a manual. You could put a manual listing in here, but you can't boost a manual listing. Okay. Any questions before I wrap up? You guys are easygoing. You're welcome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to doing this. We're going to do this weekly for you guys to really get you in a place of using this very nicely. There's a lot of things you can do in here for free to promote listings and look for buyers and call capture, home evaluations, all that stuff's part of kvCORE. It's a big deal.
So Randy, excuse me, you were searching MLS or just EXP in the cases that the couple of examples you gave?
All EXP. So what I did again is on the company listings, right? If I go to my listings, I don't have any listings, so it's not going to show any. I have 0 listings currently. My team has listings, but they're not my name.
But can we connect to MLS somehow through?
No, your MLS is
kvCORE?
automatically connected to kvCORE.
Great.
So you're going to get the company listings, right? And because I'm in multiple MLSs, I got them in California as well. I got Napa, right? So I could pull up one of the Napa properties and promote it as well for my Napa team. But whatever MLS you're in kvCORE with that's where you can promote it.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, you bet. All right, everybody, I got another call. I got to go, but thanks for being here today. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Randy.
Okay, you
Thank you,
bet.
Andy.
Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week. Bye.